Hello.
Oh, yay. Hi, we're here.
Hi,
Hello.
welcome to this episode of Film Foodies. We got done not too long ago this time watching
Yeah, still very fresh in my mind.
Ewald Othmar. If you're in this chat right now, thank you for the recommendation. There we go. Oh, Snot Cat. Um, did you actually, Snot Cat, did you watch this again before this, or did you just live off of what you already seen before? Because, I mean, we watched Eraserhead for the first time,
Do
and
do you know what her opinion is on it or no?
I don't actually. So, Snotcat, before we get started, if you want to go ahead and let us know what your
Love
opinion
to
is,
know.
let us know. Watched it again last night. Okay,
Wow.
so we we
I think I can safely say I'll never say that sentence again about this movie. Oh yeah, I watched it again. I don't know if I don't think I'll ever say that.
yeah, Snotcat did say it makes less sense than the first time, which is interesting. This is going to be one of the more interesting discussions I think we have. So, Snotcat, thank you for the recommendation because I now see why you recommended it in the first place. So, just
Yeah, why is that?
Uh, this is a movie that, and like I told Matt as soon as we finished it, is this a movie that you have a lot to talk about or nothing to talk about? Because
And
this can go
I
both
didn't
ways.
say anything to him because I didn't want to give anything away. While I was watching the movie, I could not be just more confused and disturbed ever watching a movie.
Yeah, I can understand
And
that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, this out of all the movies we've ever watched before, this is probably the one I have the least to say about.
Yeah, I f-
Like that's just how I'm not personally, I'm not the biggest fan of these types of movies
uh-huh.
where it's all about, oh, the meaning is this and this represents this and this
Mhm.
represents that. I like movies that are just straightforward. Give me
Yeah,
the story, give me the characters. Don't
yeah,
fucking hide the meaning of the story behind all this weird fucking shit.
yeah.
So I just was not a fan from the beginning to the end.
I will say this is probably the most symbolic heavy movie I've
Oh,
probably ever
that I've ever
seen.
100%.
That being said, this might be an interesting one because I feel like I had a completely different viewing experience than you did
Oh yeah,
regarding this. Because like
100%.
I was sitting there kind of like laughing and being like, huh,
There were a couple
yeah,
points where I got I got a chuckle out of
yeah.
me. Most of the time, I was just cringing in my seat silently.
Yes, this is I think the most intense I've seen Matt watching a movie before. To the point where like once in a while he would say one thing and it would just be like,
Yeah,
just like,
whenever something weird
okay.
happened, I would just look at the screen and be like, okay,
And it was the funniest fucking thing to me.
huh.
Because it's like we'd be watching it and this weird thing would happen. I would just hear Matt go out of nowhere from being silent 30 minutes straight, just going, yeah. And then I would be like,
Yep.
oh, that's funny.
Okay. Okay.
Snotcat just said, this is honestly the most insane Father's Day flick I've ever seen. For the love of God, this is the perfect Father's Day
Oh
movie.
God.
So, yes, I will admit
I was watching it in the beginning and I was just telling I thought to myself, I was like, this movie makes me want to not be a parent.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's the whole theme of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we've been talking a lot about it, but we shouldn't ignore. Do you have any appetizing facts for us today?
I would love to say that I do.
You
I have one. I have
okay? Go
one
for it.
fact, and
Go
that
for it.
was that the director, David Lynch,
Yes.
sort of based similar aspects of this to his personal life.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah,
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
I guess he had a daughter that
Mhm.
has I forget what it's called, something foot.
Harlequin. Oh no, never mind.
It's like it's not like cripple foot, it's something foot
Uh-huh.
with his that he dealt with his child that he sort of took into like, you know, consideration making this film, which is, you know, like, oh,
Club
having it
feet. That's what I was thinking.
that's what
Yeah,
it's club feet.
Snotcat said club feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, the aspect of, oh, having a kid who has this like just formality or whatever, you know, and dealing with that.
Yeah.
He just sort of put that into here just in a more extreme form.
See, that's very interesting because while I was watching this, there's like an actual disease that I learned about. I think it's like called Harlequin syndrome or something
I've
like
never heard of that one.
It's basically like the baby's like born way earlier, but has like really lizard-like patchy skin.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it makes it hard for them to survive. And it's like while I was watching this, I was wondering like, did he get like that? Like, because obviously there's a lizard baby. We're gonna be spoiling everything.
There's a lizard baby. If you
Lizard
didn't see the
baby,
video just
yeah.
now.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, you're right in the synopsis. But it's just like I was wondering if he was like kind of making a weird like play on that actual real disease. But now it makes sense. It's like club feet is also
Yeah. So
yeah.
Very different from clubbed feet, though. he
Yes.
just he
Yes.
took one small detail of a disease and just was like, "What if it was a fucking lizard, though?" and just
Yeah.
ran with that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, symbolism-wise, it made
Excuse
me
me.
interesting. I mean, made the movie interesting. But anyway, we should probably just already kind of get into the storytelling aspect of it.
I'll have you start.
This is gonna be the longest storytelling section I think we've ever had because I actually have like an idea of what all the symbolism in this movie means.
Yeah. Before
Um,
even looking up anything about
mhm.
it, and so like I said, when I was watching the movie, I was very confused. I had a small idea of what some things meant, but overall, as a whole, I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
You know. But while we were watching the movie, seemed to have a pretty good grasp over everything. So I'm very curious to see what your take is on everything.
All right, well, we're going to get into storytelling, but before we did, I just want to say Once Upon a Geneva said, man had one kid with club feet and had to make a whole movie about a monster lizard baby.
Oh, yeah.
That is the next step, all right? That is the
Mhm.
next step to this. And she also said, imagine how David Lynch's kid feels about this.
Right?
I would say they got a
Is
whole
that how
movie
you
made
think
about
of
them.
me, Dad?
You think I'm a lizard? Anyway, let's go. This first course is going to be storytelling. We got a little clip for you here, so
Let's
enjoy.
do it.
By the way, before I hit it, just a reminder: these things are going to be insanely loud compared to how we're talking right now.
Yeah.
So you might want to lower your volume a little bit. Yep.
A bit.
Here we go. Hi.
Well, that's the story.
That's the whole story. That's the whole shebang.
Yeah.
Um,
So the one thing I will say is that like from the beginning, like I did have sort of like an interesting like going into it. I had an interesting optimistic view. Like, oh, okay, like it sets a very creepy tone, and like the music is very unsettling. So in my head, at first, I was just like, okay, where is this going? This is going to be interesting, you know.
mhm.
And then it just went downhill from there. But I want to ask you,
Yeah.
what did the beginning mean? The very, very beginning.
Okay, so what I was thinking that meant was that's simply just a representation of him having sex with that girl and impregnating her. That really all it was, because it seemed like his sperm took the form of those weird long.
Yes.
So, like the way I see it, every time something was tossed into a pool of water, I felt like that was a representation of sex, basically.
Okay.
So you'll notice at the beginning, it comes out of him. And then
Yeah.
after that, it is thrown in a pool of water,
Mhm.
which is what I think was him impregnating the girl.
Okay.
As for the weird pimply creature guy thing,
Yeah.
I didn't really get that at first. I think later on,
The guy pulling the levers.
yeah, I feel like that represents just more of a personal, like inside mind, because near the end, at least, that same guy is trying to gain control
Mhm.
over his life while he's losing it. So I feel like that was just like his inner, like, I don't know, thoughts
Okay.
in a way. So that's what it was, just a really weird fucking representation of that. I still don't understand what the moon thing was, because there was also that giant moon planet.
Asteroid
Yeah,
or whatever.
I
it
did not
was.
understand what that was, because that was also utilized whenever he was basically getting laid.
Was that
So-
like the egg?
I
Or no?
I don't know. Actually,
No.
I don't know, but maybe I don't know. But that's pretty much what I was getting from it,
Mhm.
because like I don't know. Every time like any sort of sexual act was occurring, it felt like instead of actually showing it, they did a lot of imagery
Yes,
for it. For
exactly.
example, I think when what's her name, Mary,
Yeah.
was grabbing
Mary X.
yeah, when she was grabbing the suitcase as she was leaving, There was that uncomfortably long scene where she was squeaking the bed.
Yeah.
I also felt like that was basically just a metaphor for that too. But he just played. See, I don't know if this movie's trying to be serious or funny. I feel like it's doing both.
Because there's a couple parts that it's just like, what is happening? That
Yeah.
it is laughable, but it's just
Yes.
like, what? Like,
Yeah, I see. I feel like and I could be wrong about this. He knows all this symbolism and imagery he's making.
Mhm.
Is like there's a point to it, but he knows the funniness in how weird it is. Because
yeah,
that feels very David Lynch.
it's like self-acknowledged that
Yes.
he's like aware of it.
Yeah, because as Snotcat just said, have we seen any David Lynch stuff before? For me,
I don't think I have ever.
yeah.
This is my first.
So obviously David Lynch is a very esteemed director for being weird. I've seen the only David Lynch movie I've seen is Dune. The original Dune in 1984, which I thought was an atrocious movie, but I'm pretty sure he also thinks is an atrocious movie.
See, now that I know his work, if I know that like, oh, most of his films are like this, I will never watch one of his movies ever again.
Well, see, here's the thing. There's like Twin Peaks is I would say the peak of his.
Is that his?
That's
Is that his work? Okay.
He's
See,
Twin
I've
Peaks.
heard good things
Yeah.
about Twin Peaks. I know nothing of it.
I feel like Eraserhead is one of his first films where he was figuring stuff out, and he just kind of went balls to the wall.
It was,
so-
I think, his very first.
Yeah, I'll say Dune doesn't have the same kind of vibe to it. It's just badly.
That's what Geneva was telling me.
Yeah, it's just badly made. So I feel like this is. I wouldn't judge David Lynch off of this. I, believe it or not, want to see in more of his work, Twin Peaks especially. But yeah, just from this going off this movie, I see why you feel that way.
Yeah, if you show this movie to anyone, go, oh, you want to see more of his work? A majority of people, I feel like, would probably say no.
Yeah, pretty much. But that just to say that was what I thought about that first scene.
That made sense. 'Cause I was very confused during that.
Yeah,
part.
I just felt like it was a visual representation of him
Mhm.
impregnating a girl. Or I will say, with this movie, because of all the symbolism, there is, and this is why I was wondering why it would be serious or funny. There's a lot of scenes in there that are uncomfortable, like purposely, but kind of come off as funny. And one thing I wrote here is like, for example, the uncomfortably long elevator at the beginning of the movie after
yeah.
what you saw with all the walking.
Yeah.
Where he hits the button and he just sits
It
there.
just does not go.
Yeah, and then eventually it closes. It's moments like that where I was like, that's hilarious.
And then
I
even
love
when
that.
it goes, it's just barely moving.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it's things like that I honestly really dig. And the
Mhm.
whole movie is this. Like I've never felt a movie build up an anxious feeling so much with just long drawn out shots with unsettling
It does.
music underneath it.
It builds it up a lot in the beginning.
Yeah, I would just like to say Snotcat just said, I don't think I could have handled this movie if I hadn't seen at least Twin Peaks beforehand.
That's fair.
That just makes me curious about what Twin Peaks is like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly.
If that's the same thing or just as weird?
No,
or-
I mean I know it's weird, but it's I would say more palatable and that's more of a horror movie. I would
yeah.
say. Well, not is it a show or a movie? I think it's a show.
It's a show. It's
yeah,
a
it's a
show.
show. Snotcat just says, just watch it.
I don't know about that. Maybe. We'll think about it.
Yeah, no, honestly, I want to watch it. But honestly, the only other thing I can think of story-wise is I just really like some of these moments he puts in this movie. Like I said, that kind of acknowledge how silly it is at points.
Mhm.
Like, for example, when Bill, which we will talk about later, but
Bill was one of the greatest parts
yeah,
of the movie.
I'll put Bill up now.
They got a picture of Bill? Where's
Yeah,
Bill? There's
Bill's
Bill.
on the left
yeah,
right there.
Bill at the dinner table. What a classic scene.
Yes, I love Bill. But there's a scene where he's talking about, I remember when all this was like pastures and now it's just an industrial wasteland. And as he's saying that, a train subway car is going by, getting really
yeah,
loud.
well, no, he's talking about how he's being a plumber. He's like,
Yes.
I redid all these pipes and stuff. But like he's talking loud and yelling, and
Yeah.
then the noise goes by. It's almost like an intense scene, but he's just talking about being a plumber.
But it's just really funny. It really shows the industrial aspect of this while being funny, making
Yeah.
a point. I don't know. I enjoyed it, but that's pretty much all I had to say about this. Well, besides the symbolism we can get into, but is there anything else about the story that you felt like you wanted to talk about before we get into that?
No. I mean, I don't. Like I said, watching it, I was very confused. I'm not the biggest fan of movies that are rely so heavily on
Yeah.
symbolism. Everything is a metaphor,
Yeah.
a symbol for something. I just don't follow them that well.
Yeah.
And they're just not for me. So every single aspect of this movie was that.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest with you, I didn't follow the movie at all until
Yeah.
after the movie. I looked up, I was like, oh, this means that, this means that. I was like, okay. But honestly, like it's really hard to figure out when you're watching it. I feel like I'm
Mhm.
not one of those people that can just be like, oh, they mean this. Like
Yeah.
it's not my thing. It's not my forte.
Okay, so with that being said, you did look up stuff, so I'm gonna try and get into some of the things I felt like
Yeah, yeah,
were
yeah. So what
symbolism, and you can like tell me if I'm wrong,
what
right, or what.
other things do you think like represented
So
this or that?
I will say the basis of this movie is it's majorly about this guy struggling to, basically live with his new life of being a father
Mhm,
and failing miserably at it. So everything in the movie seems to be a reflection of how he's feeling, what he's thinking about. For example, Radiator Lady.
mhm.
I'm pretty sure signifies just she's like the sexual desire that he's kind of pent up in his in his head.
Mhm.
So like for example, when the wife Mary leaves him and he's alone watching the baby, like he gets fascinated with that. I don't know if it's representing like him just getting really addicted to pornography or something like that,
Yeah.
but it's like, and then she basically just starts like squashing all his little sperm things. That's what I'm taking those things to represent,
Yes,
which
you are correct.
basically just it's masturbation. It's a visual representation of masturbation, basically.
Yeah, so when I was looking it up, I saw like two different
Uh-huh.
variations of it. One was basically what you said right now,
Yeah.
his version of like a perfect woman, which
Yeah.
when she was stepping on those sperm things represented like she can't get pregnant, and that's what
Yeah.
he wanted.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
wasting.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
exactly. He just wants to be with a pretty woman, but not have to worry about the
Yeah.
fatherhood aspect of it. So that's what she was doing, you know.
Yeah.
And then another one was she represents death.
Oh,
And like, oh, like
that's
how he
interesting.
longs to like just let it be over kind of thing, you know? That's why at the very end,
She's there.
yeah, she's there and he sees that bright light and everything, and that's him accepting death
Oh, that's
after he
interesting.
kills his the kid.
Yeah.
You know, he basically accepts like, oh, like it's over. Like I just want it to be over. I want to be dead now.
See, I don't feel it like that. I feel like that whole ending thing wasn't a representation of death. I felt like it was
Yeah.
a representation of him finally just giving in to his dumb little urges and like
Mhm.
being like, well, fucked up everything, already killed
Yeah.
my baby, might as well be a monster. I feel like that's why that one not like boil laden guy with the brake controls was like losing control. He was like in a way losing control of his sanity
Okay.
and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kind of like giving himself over to this really dumb
Mhm.
urge of I just want to see pretty lady and masturbate and
I was
only care
listening
about
pretty
that.
lady and masturbate. I just want
Yeah.
to touch myself to radiator
Yeah, yeah,
lady.
yeah. That's pretty much how I saw that. There's also a lot of other symbolism. I was having a hard time understanding what the twig in the ground meant.
Yeah.
I
Do
th-
you know what that
I
means
think later
or?
on it represents his like I wouldn't like family tree, I guess is the best way to put it, where it's like his lineage
Mhm.
and it's like his future in a way, and like it's planted to like represent just how he's growing his life, but at some point it just doesn't work out, and instead he kind of just loses it, which is what that dream sequence where it like starts bleeding and stuff is,
Yes.
because at that point he's having an affair, he's giving in,
Mhm.
and it's like he's kind of wrecking his future,
Mhm.
and he only sees this little kid and he's wondering like this is not my kid, I see him as a monster, and this kid is like being brought up in that environment so that that kid is going to end up becoming him, which is why at that one point the kid replaces him, because and
Mhm.
that's not the life he wants. I feel
Right.
like that's kind of what I was getting from it, but I
Okay.
don't know if you read anything on that or if
I
anyone
did
in the
not.
comments.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I only got like a general aspect
Yeah.
of the meaning of the movie and
Yeah.
a couple small details. Like I said, there's so many details that are supposed to
Mhm.
mean something. I couldn't find everything. Like
Gotcha.
like the whole just part with the Eraserhead part.
That was one of the few I had a hard time
I
understanding.
wasn't able to find like a meaning for that or
Gotcha.
the explanation for it.
The only thing I can think of, because that one was when I was having a hard time, but
Mhm.
obviously the fucking title comes from it. It's like they're making erasers from his brain matter,
Yeah, but
basically.
what does that mean?
I feel like the only thing I can think of is it's like a representation of how society itself takes advantage of that. You know what I mean? Of people in
Of
that mental
of
state.
single fathers.
Yeah, no, but see, that's what I'm saying, because it's like this came out in the '70s, and it's like obviously it was a completely different landscape. We didn't have the progressivism we
Well,
have
yeah,
nowadays,
yeah.
so I feel like it was in a way just showing how kind of society does take advantage of that, and so many people are having that sort of a mentality of him, because like Another thing that I got was like that little tiny U-shaped weird maggoty
Oh
thing.
yeah, the weird thing that just was moving in the cabinet or whatever.
Yeah, I felt like that was his representation of him and his desire to have that affair with the lady across the way, and maybe not necessarily just that lady, because you'll notice he got it and he was like, oh, and then he like puts it away, and he shuts it away, and he's like, you know what? Let's not do this. Let's not worry about this. But later on, when all the shit starts hitting the fan, he's like, I'm gonna open that shit up. And immediately following that, he has his affair because the lady comes in and does her thing, I guess. So I feel like that was just a representation of that. You know
No,
what I
that's
mean?
fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just the like
I get you, man. I get you. Don't worry.
it's so hard to like this stuff. I don't know why if I'm like in a small majority but like
No,
okay,
you're not. You are not a small majority.
I get the overall like theme. Oh, like it deals with like anxiety of fatherhood and saying like the fear of fatherhood and stuff like that. But there's other ways you can put that into like a movie form without having every small little thing mean something else. And having to figure that out through the movie, and then like
I get you. It's
and
like
it's done in such a weird way that I just it loses me.
I completely get it though. So here's the thing, and I would just like to say Snotcat said, I feel like I broke the show with this recommendation. Thank you for the recommendation. I want the show to be broken anyway.
Worst recommendation.
Oh, I love it. I'm so happy for it because it's doing something that I've been hoping that we would have, and that is a difference in movie watching experience.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry you had to suffer from it, so I feel like next time we need to let you choose.
I don't know if
I would hate.
I don't think after watching this movie, I don't consider myself an intellectual movie watcher.
I will admit, no, out of like other movies, I feel like this is the hard level of movie watching.
It is.
I feel like this is the final boss of movie watching.
It's the final boss.
This is like, like,
all those movies you watch up to this point have led to this moment.
Yeah, you're like, you watch Midsommar and you're like, that's fucking weird. And then it's like, you know what? I can see it though. And I feel like this is like the third phase of the final boss where you're just like, all right, I think I got this. And then David Lynch comes in through the door and he's like, you haven't seen me in my final form. And you're like, fuck.
God damn it.
God damn it, David
Here
Lynch.
he comes. I don't have the weapons and abilities prepared for this boss.
I should have saved up on my health potions. I spent them willy-nilly, and I should not have done that. I got to reload my
I should have put my stats into wisdom and knowledge. I did not.
So I feel like that's what this movie is. So thank you. Sorry on behalf of Matt.
No, it's okay. I didn't know that was this type of movie going into it.
I had a feeling it would be weird, but even I wasn't prepared for how weird. Because this was like, as soon as that first scene played out, I was like, damn, dude, I know that we're in for something absolutely fucking crazy.
Just something wild. Yeah.
Was there anything you read though that like played into it, or anything that I didn't speak about? Just curious about what you read in your painful journey of Eraserhead understanding.
I'm trying to think. No, for the most part, you've hit the nail right on the head with most everything. I'm trying to think of if there was something else that I was confused about, because there was just,
all of it's confusing.
Yeah. Oh,
the light fucking played into it. I didn't even realize that till it was flickering.
Yeah. Well, how does the light play into it?
I feel like that was just him. As silly as it may sound, him trying to stay grounded and representing how grounded he is.
See, why is that necessary?
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like
that's my problem with these movies. Yeah. Why is everything have to be a symbol and a representation? This is a representation for how he feels on this and this. It's just I find it really stupid. I really do.
I get
I'm sorry.
Though. I get it though. I get your understanding of that, because it's like, in hindsight, why not take this idea and make it more digestible
and make it more of like a more mainstream movie that, like, I don't know, families can enjoy, but you still get the point across. Why does it have to be this weird?
I do love that idea of, hey, little Timmy over there, we're gonna watch Eraserhead. Just like, it's a fun family for all of us.
They just couldn't go that route.
Yeah.
Though.
But no, I completely get you, because this movie does deal with that. There's always been a thing with artistic cinema of like, what is the line here? And this definitely crosses that line, and only some people are gonna enjoy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like, what, like, in your movie, should you make it more digestible to appeal to a wider audience for the sake of making an enjoyable film, or do you go with the passionate idea of, I just want to make something weird that I personally can feel?
And when this movie came out, I looked it up. Like, it got horrible reviews.
Really?
Oh yeah. Critics were like, "This is atrocious." Like,
I can totally I get that. This movie is straight up, especially for the time, completely inappropriate.
Oh yeah.
Completely inappropriate.
Did you get the dinner scene or no? I didn't look up the dinner scene.
That was the one thing I never understood. I don't know if it represented just like her having a pregnancy or something, and just the family
mom,
dealing with
or-
that. No, Mary.
Okay.
Because remember, it was like she's pregnant, she already gave birth.
So you
know,
think like the
I don't
chicken
know.
oozing out the goo just kind of reminded was reminding the mom of like, oh no, like that's the child that's out of my daughter.
I feel like
it's gross.
Yeah.
It's hideous.
I feel like that's the only way I can take it. But I feel
guess.
like I know while we watched this, we did watch it Once Upon a Geneva, and she did say she kind of figured out what it might be. So if you want to type that in, go ahead. But
yeah, go
I
for it. If you want to type
genuinely-
out that long paragraph that I will not read. Okay.
Yeah, I genuinely didn't. I didn't know that one. That was my best take off of it. I
Yeah.
can't understand why the mom tried to kiss him. I don't understand why they kept like shaking and going.
Yeah, because the girl, Mary X, did that once
Yeah.
too, in that scene where they're sitting on the couch and then she starts brushing her hair, and then I'm just like, what? the fuck?
Yeah. I don't understand that. Yeah.
That was, I think, the first moment where I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna understand what's gonna go on in this movie, because that was like the first weird moment for me.
Yeah.
Because everything else leading up to that was just like, whatever, you know. It's,
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
But-
see, it's because like you didn't even have symbolism there. It's like symbolism. Oh, Mary's actually acting that way.
Oh, Mary's
Yeah.
retarded.
Yeah.
Symbolism.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I had to say on storytelling. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add. I feel like you're already over.
I am.
Let's get into our second course then. This one is. our
Well,
cat-
wait
oh,
a second.
we have to give it.
Wait a second. Is
You're
it
right.
getting an M?
So this, I just wanted to brush past this. Then you know what? We already know what you're gonna say. so
Well,
how about you?
obviously, no. It's no.
I want to give it an N. I
An
do want to
N?
give it an N.
Okay,
Not a
half
full
an M? Okay.
I want to give it the N, half an M, just
Okay.
because
How come you don't give it the full one?
I like how creative it is. I like how much it's trying to put into its symbolism. It's trying to be different. It's doing a lot of interesting ideas to
Mhm.
represent a lot of these things. But like you were saying, I feel like it gets lost. Like the enjoyment gets lost in that.
And
It's-
yes,
yeah,
when you try
it's-
to work so hard to try to figure out a movie, it's
Mhm.
almost like it's just too much like effort. And I'm just like,
Yes.
I want to watch a movie and enjoy it and not have to struggle about what's
Yeah.
going on. And it hurts your
Mhm.
brain.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's like I feel like I like what it's going for, but like I said earlier, it crossed the line going
Yeah.
too far into it.
It did.
And that's why I'm like, not so hot on it. So that's why I kind of give it that N. So N for
That's
me,
fair.
nothing for you.
That's fair.
I would just like to say Once Upon a Geneva did say, yeah, she's saying it felt like the bloody chicken just represented the birth. That's the only thing I could take out of
Probably.
it.
Yeah.
But that's it. So far N here, and I guess we'll get into our casting and crew, and
Let's
you can
do it.
buckle in for the next phase.
Yeah. Where's the
Alright.
video at?
Here we go. 3,
Where's
2,
Bill?
1.
I thought I heard a stranger. We've got chicken tonight. Strangest damn things. They're man-made. Little damn things. Smaller than my fist. They're new. I'm Bill.
Hello, I'm Henry.
Henry's at Lapel's factory.
Well, quitting's your business, huh? Plumbing's mine. 30 years. I've seen this neighborhood change from pastures to the hellhole it is now. I put every damn pipe in this neighborhood.
Yeah, Bill.
Now, people think pipes grow in their home. Well, they sure as hell don't. Look at my knee. Look at my knee.
Bill,
Okay, hello.
Right, that was the
Highlight.
one of the highlights.
One
of
of the
movie.
highlights,
One of
yeah.
2 highlights of the movie for me was just the introduction of Bill.
Bill is amazing. Bill
He-
is like, yeah.
That one scene, he was just like really quirky, and we were just laughing, and just it's so awkward, but it's just funny.
It almost feels like he's not in the same movie.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
it does.
Yeah.
It's almost like they brought him in on set, like, hey, this will be this fun, happy movie.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the silly, quirky dad, you know. And then
Mhm.
he does that, and then the dinner scene happens, and then they tell him like, oh wait, this is a weird movie, because then he gets weird at the dinner
Yeah,
scene.
yeah. I feel like he's just like genuinely just trying to be a jolly guy, but
Yeah.
like everything around him is going to shit, and he's
And then-
still just like, because he even had that one scene where he's just like, holding the smile in.
He holds
like, the
that
whole-
smile for minutes straight. He's just
Yeah.
smiling at him.
He's
and-
basically the representation of the "This Is Fine" dog that everyone knows. That's basically Bill, and I love him for it because
That's
he
great.
is hilarious in everything he says.
Oh yeah, no, he was. I forgot what the exact line he said, but he was like, "Oh, these little chickens, they're damn small, smaller than my hand, and they're new. I'm Bill."
Yeah,
Just
I
like-
love him. He's like such a childish, fun little. Yeah. And I mean, anything else you want to say on Bill?
Well, Bill was one of two actors that had the most, I guess, like energy. And like I understand the movie is supposed to have like that dark tone, so none of their acting is supposed to be like happy or like, but just he had the most like realistic acting, I guess. In my opinion, the acting in this movie was just horrible because the
Mhm.
way they talk and just the way everyone talks, it's so low, it's monotone, it's awkward, it's weird. I understand that's its intention, but it's so fucking boring to watch. Every
Yeah.
time the main character spoke and said something, I was not interested. I forget the main character's name.
Henry.
That's what it was. Every single character just fucking lost me. And I understand it's not the point or the purpose of the movie.
Yeah.
It's all about the symbolism. But I just it just makes it not enjoyable when the characters are fucking dull, boring, and they have no background and no explanation and no character development. It's just stupid.
I love seeing the passion of hate for this
Like,
movie.
I'm sorry,
emanating
I'm
from-
sorry.
No, don't apologize. I like.
Yeah, I'm
I
sorry.
like the rant coming from you on this stuff.
In the end, when I watch a movie, I think to myself, like, is it an enjoyable watch? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I don't think of it as like a critic level. I do
Mhm.
sometimes, but I think of it as like, is it rewatchable? Was it fun? Did I enjoy it?
Mm-hmm.
And I just got none of that from any part in this movie except Bill and that other. I don't know if you'll mention the other one. Yeah, we
I
can
don't
wait
think
till.
they ever said his name. Anyway,
But,
he
who?
said a name.
Oh yeah.
but
He
he
said
didn't-
they
yeah.
mentioned that guy's name though. Yeah,
Oh,
that was a great guy though.
Yes, I would like to say Snotcat just said, I like how composed Matt was at the start of the stream, and now he's just evolving the more you make him think about the movie.
I don't want to relive it. That's the thing. Is that I'm
We're
reliving
doing it right now, buddy.
Yeah.
This is how I felt with Kazam. I just didn't want to relive that shit. And you,
See, like, okay, the difference between this and Kazam still wasn't an enjoyable watch.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know, in terms of like, it wasn't as hard to watch.
Yes.
I could rewatch Kazam and still hate myself.
yeah.
You couldn't fucking pay me to rewatch this movie, though. I'm sorry, you couldn't. But if you give me like $1 to watch Kazam, I'll do it.
It's like, fuck it, I'll do it for Kazam. Just get that
I'll
fucking
do it.
Eraserhead away
Yeah,
from me.
fuck it.
Put David Lynch in prison.
Like that's just my take on it. Everyone has opinions.
It's a fair and valid take. It really
Yeah.
is. On that note, I liked the acting in this.
Did you?
I thought it was over dramatic, but I felt like that. Well, like you were saying, I thought that was the point. I feel like.
Well,
it
yeah,
was-
I get that's the point.
Yeah, I found the humor in how over dramatic they, and it gave a quirky nature to it, which I enjoyed. I just also understand why you wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I just straight up understand why. It was like for me, it was like that was part of the charm. The charm. Am I allowed to say that?
There's no charm.
I feel like you're about
There's
to
no
murder
charm.
me.
There is zero charm
I-
in this movie.
I felt like you're about to murder me for saying like
no, it's,
like how,
everyone has opinions.
I would like to say once upon a Geneva said you guys need a donate button so I can pay $1 to have Matt watch Kazam again.
I'll do it. I'll fucking do it.
I will see. It's funny because I don't want to be paid to watch Kazam. And I will say Snotcat also said Henry was an effective fuckboy. This is basically the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
He's just a fuckboy and he's acting like a fuckboy, and that's what I mean. It plays into it, and that's why I enjoyed the acting. Please don't murder me.
That's okay. Continue.
I thought the lizard looked nice.
This out of all the movies, this is the one I wrote the least about.
Show him that.
Look at that. 2 lines, and you
what
know
did
what
you
they
write?
say? You know
Yeah,
what
what
they
did
say?
you say?
Confusing beginning and sets depressing tone. That's the only thing I wrote.
And then he just gave up.
Yep.
You were like, you're done
I
with
was
it.
no, yeah, like you said, I was silent throughout the entire
Yeah.
movie. I had nothing to write. I was waiting for it to get good, and then it ended.
That's fair.
And it just never happened.
I liked the lizard. I thought the lizard was a great puppet.
He was he was adorable. He was a little
And
he was a little cutie
I
pie.
felt very sad when they killed him off. That was the saddest and most heartbreaking,
tragic
horrific.
death.
Yeah, no, top 10 tragic deaths I've ever seen in
top
my
10
life.
movie deaths.
Lizard Boy.
It comes right after what was the guy's name in Green Mile? The big black guy.
Joffrey?
It was no. What's that
Oh,
his name?
I mixed him up with coffee because Joffrey coffee.
Joffrey Coffee.
That's how I remember.
But yes,
I kid you not, that's literally
no,
how I
it's
remember.
John, right? John Coffee or
It was.
right or no?
I think it was John Coffey.
I don't know.
I think it was John Coffey.
This and then his execution scene in Green Mile.
Oh.
Like as far as like sad death.
That's sad.
go.
I do love that. Like you're crying at that scene. It's like now let's do the next death scene, and it's just a lizard baby going. Very sad. Coffee like the drink is what Geneva said. Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, 'cause
That-
he
no,
says,
that's
he
why I
says that in the
remembered it.
movie.
Yeah.
He says in the movie.
Anyway, shall we just give it the rating then? I feel like you're already
Go
done
for
with
it.
cast and crew.
You know my answer.
I'm giving it the M.
You're giving it a full
I'm giving
M
it
on
the full
cast
M.
and
I
crew.
feel like they
Wow.
executed everything perfectly
Wow.
on this.
Wow.
Don't judge me.
If their goal
Movies
was
are subjective.
no, that's true. That is true. That is a fact. Everyone has opinions. Everything's subjective, you know, and you shouldn't take anyone's opinion too seriously. But
I already see where this review is going. I think it's the funniest.
I can't.
Snotcat said, "Can't wait to tell Matt my rating after this." I would love to hear your rating, Snotcat.
I'm already going to assume
I'm
already going to assume that is in par with Sean's. If not, you praise it even more because you're the one that fucking recommended it. So I wouldn't be surprised if like this is like a weekly watch for you.
We gotta do our Eraserhead.
I gotta do that Eraserhead rewatch. I mean, you rewatched it before this, so clearly I know you like it. So you like it probably just as much as Sean does, or more. So
Oh, I can't wait. I love this review so much.
if she was here giving it the ratings, I would not give it a doubt that she'd give it by all the M's
Chef's kiss.
with a chef's kiss, 100%.
Oh, that's great. Well, with that, M for me. All right, so on to our third course. It's gonna be our audio and visual.
All right.
In heaven, everything is fine. In heaven, everything is fine. In heaven, everything is fine. You got your good things, and I've got
Everything was not fine, is what Snotcat said. I would like to start this off because that just happened. I love that song.
Why though?
It's just a cute little sparse minimalistic
Why?
song. When I edited the skit together before, like when we recorded, I edited the skit together, put it up at the beginning of this. I used that song as I just stumbled upon it. I was just like Google Eraserhead song and find out, and that played. And ever since I edited that video, that's been in my head.
That's fine.
Like literally in my head. And
you go
every
to
once in
sleep
a while,
and you
yeah.
just hear it.
In
Like,
heaven, yeah, and so it was very enlightening to actually
Wow.
watch it. So
I'm glad that you liked that part.
Yeah, I thought that.
Why does she look like that? What is the symbolism behind her fucking big ass basketball cheeks? I need to know.
The big old basketball cheeks.
Big old basketball cheeks, fucking chickmunk.
Yes, that is literally where Alvin and the Chipmunks started.
Yeah.
Like they saw that and he was like, Alvin and the Chipmunks. It started it off.
That's
The
what
whole
it is.
thing.
Boom.
Literally
What if
Eraserhead.
what if we use those cheeks but put them on animals? She's the original chipmunk.
Original Chipmunk. They really should cover it for the next, Alvin movie.
That'd
Alvin
be
4.
cool. That'd be cool.
But yeah, I have a feeling you don't have much to say with audio and visuals. But
I will. The only
you have?
positive thing I'll say
you have
is
a
that,
positive.
is that like as the movie's black and white, but as far as like lighting goes and the audio, like it was fine. It was done good, and like you can have a trashy movie but have good aspects to it. And like I didn't have a problem with audio and visual. I thought it was good, and the lighting was good and everything. Like black and white movies sometimes have like they have really interesting uses of lighting. And I feel like it used it well. So
Yeah, I agree.
and that's the last positive thing you'll hear me say about it.
Damn, we've done it. That's it.
No, you got that much out of me, and that's it. Thank you so much. Bye.
It's like, yeah, you come out of your little cage. It's just like music was good. Bye.
Music was good. Bye.
I will say I did think it was fascinating how they utilized the audio landscape in this to create such an anxiety-inducing tone. Because like normally this movie, like
Yes.
you're saying, it's so silent and no one's doing anything. Without that, this movie would be completely different.
100%.
Yeah.
I was saying that in the beginning. I was like, is this like a silent film?
Yeah.
Because they don't talk. I think for sure there's more time in this movie where they don't talk than that. It's like 75% white noise, background music, and maybe 25% dialogue.
Yeah.
But they like you said, they do it well. It does set a tone, and they do that good. Because like I said, from when it started, I was a little interested. But then just once things started getting weird and I didn't understand anything, that's when I started to not like it.
Understandable.
So, but
well, I'm glad we're both on the same page here. The
Yeah.
audio and visuals were
audio and
fantastic.
visuals did a good job. They did what they were supposed to, which was set the tone and like keep it. They ran it throughout the entire movie and so they did it.
What I gotta know then, because I have nothing more to say on it. Do you have a rating you're willing to give for this?
I'll give it an M. I'll give it a full M for the audio and visual. I feel like it deserves a full M for audio and
See,
visual.
this is why I like our little scale here.
like it's just like because like I said, there's good aspects in bad movies sometimes.
Yes. It's just you can't get past the rest of it. I understand.
Yeah, no, I can't get past the rest of it. And I'll never once go back to this movie and be like, I'm gonna rewatch it for its audios and visuals.
You don't want to hear
or the wailing. Ah!
The wailing like got really funny at the end too. Just,
oh yeah. When he was like, I think he was mocking him. I don't know why. He was just laughing.
Oh, it was
that was
straight up
right
mocking
before.
him,
That was
yeah.
right before he killed him. I
That's
think.
why. That's
Yeah.
why it was doing that. Yeah, I will say, Snotcat just said we got one. Yes, we did. We
Yes.
got it, boys. We did it. We got an M.
Yes.
For that.
It got an M, and that's yeah.
And I will say, Half Frojo, thank you for coming on in. And literally, Half Frojo has not said a goddamn thing this whole time. And the first thing is bad movie, Lamau.
Stupid. Bad movie, Lamau.
I love it. But yeah, just we got one. I'm giving it the fucking M. It deserves this M.
It does deserve the M
nice
for that.
juicy M.
It's an M. I don't know if it's a juicy M. It's slightly wet. It's a
juiciest of
damp
Ms.
M. It's
no,
a damp M.
I can feel the grease in this M. I can
The
feel
moisture is barely there.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's a good M.
It's
oh,
a
it's
good
a good
M. For
delectable
moist.
So far, just would like to say because we only got one last course left. That is 1M from you.
1M. Don't give spoilers on the full.
I'm not yet. 2.5 M's from me so far. If
All
you've
right.
been counting.
Out of how many again? What, 4?
4 M's total.
Wow, look at you.
So look, I just want to say that. On to our last course. Unless there's anything else you want to
Nope.
say. Yeah, I have a feeling. These are the just desserts.
Just.
Okay, Paul!
Would you like to speak on that scene?
I love the way he walks out too, just with the finger pointing, like, and then just okay, Paul.
Snotcat said, "This is my favorite goddamn scene." It is.
It 100% is. It was
It
it was fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying, talk about cast and crew. That guy delivered his line.
Oh yeah, 100% did. That was the greatest line in the entire movie.
No, but seriously, like, I mean, would you like to speak more on that, or do you feel?
No, I
like
mean that's all I can say about it is that it was a fucking great line. He delivered it great. It was
Yeah.
fucking funny, and then once it was over, it got back into weird.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I will say that's pretty much all I had to say on that scene, just because it was the funniest fucking scene. We had to point it out because it is
Yeah.
the funniest fucking scene.
It was great.
It was really funny because like when it happened, like I think you said something about like him being his dad, and he's like, "Look." Dad,
Oh
look,
yeah,
look,
yeah,
look,
yeah.
look, look."
When he walked in, I thought that guy was like the dad of the kid bringing
Yeah.
home the head, and I was
Yeah.
joking around like that's like, oh, what I tell you about bringing home human heads every night, you know?
And I just said something like, "Look, watch it not be his father." And this guy is just like literally saw this happen and is pressing that as an alarm bell, and
Yeah,
that's what
yeah, yeah.
happened. So I thought
think
that
you
was
said
funny.
he's like the bellhop or something,
yeah, just like,
which he was. Yeah, he
Fuck,
was
there's a
running
kid in here with a
Yeah.
head. What the fuck?
Ah!
Little did I know that was actually like a fucking head machine where they train their
Yeah.
heads into the
Yeah.
I can see you already slipping again. I see the red creeping back into your eyes.
It's horrible.
It's like this movie changed me.
I know it really did.
So this is normally where we just talk about our overall opinion of if we.
I feel like
enjoyed
I've
it or not.
already expressed that enough. If you need me
don't
to
know
go
if I
into
got-
further detail, I will.
Matt, did you like this movie?
Like is an overstatement.
Do you want to give it a chef's kiss?
No. Unlike the Green Mile, which in the end wasn't that great. I forgot how many M's we gave the Green Mile. Like overall, we didn't really care for it.
I mean, I cared for it, but like overall, it was just a bit brought back by the weird.
Yeah,
that's really
yeah,
funny. It was
exactly.
brought back by the weirdness.
Yeah, wow. But yeah, even then, like it was a good movie. But like, it wasn't great overall. I still gave that the chef's kiss because I think it's worth a watch because of how interesting and just like well known it is and everything. This will not receive the chef's kiss.
Not even an M. Not a little M.
Nope, no M for just desserts. No chef's kiss.
Aw.
This deserves chef's slap. I don't know what the opposite of that is.
Just slap that
No.
Eraserhead. I will like to say that Snotcat just officially gave the rating of a 4 out of 5.
Wow,
Look at that.
that's crazy.
Very similar. I give this that M.
Wow, so you are also you're at what? You're at the same? Or 4.5?
I mean, technically, it's 3.5 out of 4.
Oh well, yeah, well,
So it's around the same.
Yeah,
3.5 out of 4. Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause,
we're the same thing. I'm gonna assume that you give it the chef's kiss as
no,
well.
I'm not gonna give it a chef's kiss.
Really?
No, because this isn't one of those movies that's like, oh, very special. Everyone needs to watch.
That's
Like
fair.
this is like one of those movies where you have to like be into this type of filmmaking to like it. You
Yeah,
know,
that's fair.
and it's like that is not a like.
I figured you would be someone who would give a chef's kiss because of how like artsy it is and stuff like that. I figured you'd be like,
I
oh
admire it.
yeah.
I admire it, but it's
Yeah.
like this is not one of those where it's like, personally, like me, I'm not gonna go away and being like, that was such a good movie viewing experience. I'm gonna
Yeah.
hold on to this and treasure it for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
No, it's one of those things where it's like you go to a nice restaurant and they give you a nice little cube of salmon or something, and you eat the cube of salmon. You're like, that's the best fucking cube of salmon I've ever had. I'm not gonna spend that money for it again, though. This is the one time I'm experiencing that cube of salmon. This is that for me. Like I like
Okay.
it. I like it a lot. But it's like a one-time viewing. Like this.
I was gonna
like,
ask
yeah,
that. Is this a rewatchable movie for you?
Not really.
No,
Yeah, not
okay.
really. It's like for me, I would like. It's just such an odd film.
Yeah.
It's just such an odd film. Yeah.
It's so I can't like I don't know. It's hard for me to wrap my head around somebody watching this and enjoying it. I don't know why. I'm
Snotcat,
sorry. I just
props to you.
how do you sit down, watch this, and go like, oh, I love this part. Oh, this is my favorite scene coming up. Other than that one scene with the OK Paul guy, that's the only scene I'd look forward to. Other than that, why would you enjoy this?
I feel like this. I mean, I'll be honest. This chat is mostly on your side, which I think this is amazing. Because Snotcat's giving it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 3.5. You hate this thing.
No, this is a 1.
Yeah, I know for a fact Geneva didn't. I mean, Geneva said earlier on Dune 1984 is better, which I am not in agreement with. Holy shit, that's a piece of shit. And-
well, like this.
no, I will not. And half Frojo, first thing was bad movie now. So it's
Yeah.
like this is like a very
fair.
divided. So we need someone else on my side. If we can get one more
I feel like
person
the
in this chat.
majority, if you ask a majority of population about
they're
like
gonna
this
hate this,
movie,
yeah.
majority of population will hate this movie. But there's a
Yeah.
small group of people that are just like, I appreciate the symbolism and the meanings behind the scenes and the characters and the metaphors, and I'm turning into Kermit the Frog.
I'm glad that's what you think of me in Snot Cat.
Yes, not exactly. You watch this and you're just like, I appreciate the undertones of, like, fucking shut the fuck up.
I would like to say we got a lot of messages. Half Rojo just said, "I wish to embody the Eraserhead kid." Yes. Snotcat, damn, did you just call? No, damn, did he just call you pretentious? I'm feeling attacked.
I'm feeling it. No, you're right.
Half Rojo made a very good comment. I want to see condom sales before and after this movie. Honestly, I would love to.
It's funny.
And yeah, so wait, hold on.
Nice.
Half Rojo, you need to put in your rating. And Geneva too, if you're still there, put in your rating. I'm very curious.
Yes, we have to know.
Out of 5, out of 10, whatever. I'm curious. because
Whatever it is.
This is such an interesting film, and like I can see.
What?
Like I know you're listening to me.
No,
but,
I
like,
am. I am.
your
I'm trying to
eyes just-
tune
yeah.
out everything you're saying that's positive about the movie.
I just saw like you went from like conscious to like just glassy eye. Just. And
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and just be like, hey, Sean, it's been a while since we've done a movie. What was the last one we did? Kazam? It's been over a month.
Like we really sure did forget to do that.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, we really dropped the ball this month.
Movie. Half Frojo said after saying he's just mocking me now. Half
Yeah.
Frojo said 7.7 out of 10.
Wow. That's about
Interesting.
7.7 too much.
Dude, this is thank you so much for this recommendation. I'm enjoying it so much.
Oh man.
It's okay. You're not in the minority. This is one of those movies I see why you did it. I would love to recommend this movie to people just to.
I don't think I would ever recommend this to people.
I would just get an angry text back or an angry
Yeah,
call.
100%.
as the friendship might be in jeopardy.
People would be
But-
mad at you. Why'd you make me waste my time with this? You could have just told me, hey, being a father sucks. And I would have gotten the movie. I'd be like, all right.
But don't you need to see the symbolism of the lady shifting from side to side, stepping on sperm baby?
I don't need to see cum cheeks over there all fucking stepping on my kids.
Oh man, I would like to say Geneva put 1.5 out of 5, but would never rewatch. I don't think that has to be
That's
a
fair.
but. That's just a and would.
I fully agree with that.
And Snotcat requested a bonus episode of Megalopolis, which we can.
We were
have a
we were
whole-
talking about
Yeah,
that.
but that could be a whole other
Be
discussion.
a whole nother day. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that bonus episode on the next stream. Who knows? But
There you go.
yeah, just overall, I think we've talked a lot about Eraserhead. I think this is a fantastic film. Thank you for the
Wow.
recommendations. I think Matt said everything he needed to say.
I think I have. I would just be repeating myself at this point, which I don't think anyone wants
I
to
hate
hear.
it. I hate it. I hate it.
I hate
fuck
it.
this
I
movie,
hate it.
fuck
I
it,
hate
fuck
it.
it,
I
fuck
hate it. I hate it. My fucking nightmare to this movie.
You're gonna just be dreaming, seeing moons floating in the sky with a little
Yep.
guy with a braid. Yeah, no, that's
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I had a great time. I think this was top 10 viewing experiences of my life. I would.
Really?
No, but just to see that